main update is basically on the material front. Okay, so that has well been accommodated in the software. So we know the section 2 part D, ASME section 2 part D is basically responsible for the material updates. Okay, the properties of the material has been there. So we know that 31.3 having two chapter, one is 31.3 and one is the chapter 9. So chapter 9 is basically for the more complex piping system, which is having the high pressure systems. Okay, so that has also been updated. So in 31.1, 31.3 in the main body, there are total 553 materials has been there, which they have updated the expansion coefficient, and 106 materials has been updated for the Poisson ratio and the density according to the ASME BPVC section 2. Similarly, for the high pressure systems, according to the chapter 9, so 51 new material records has been created for allowable stress values, and 14 materials has been changed to the expansion coefficient update. Okay, so these are the major enhancements, basically what we can say as per the ASME code in 31.3. And the same has been updated to the validation document also, because in Caesar 2, who are using Caesar 2, they are very much aware that Caesar 2 comes with the validation examples and the certificates also for the same. So in that validation document, as per the appendix X example of ASME, okay, so those examples are also been updated into it. Okay, so if you want to see the validation report out of it and you want to utilize the examples for the same, so that has also been updated. That will be supplied to you along with the what we say Caesar 2 version 15. Now, the next code edition is the 31.1. We know the 31.1, which we are using for the power piping. Okay, so this has also been updated from 2022 edition to 2024 edition. Okay, and there are no major calculation changes into that, but still whatever the changes are there, okay, so that has been accommodated on the configuration, load case templates and the report templates. So it has been updated based on that, and in the final report you will be getting that the analysis has been performed using the 31.1 2024 edition. And in Caesar 2, you know that in some of the project purpose, maybe you have to use the older edition of the code, though you have updated the software. So that can also be utilized. So in the latest edition, if you have, but still for the project requirement, if you want to use the older edition of the code, let's say 31.1 or 31.3 2022 edition, so that can also be done. So once you select the code, so refactoring has been set into it. Okay, so quickly we can select the code edition and we can proceed for the analysis. But by default, it will be the latest edition. Okay. Now coming to the hydrogen piping systems, nowadays it is what we say very widely used throughout the globe, and Caesar 2 is no exception. Hexagon, as I said, is very aggressive on the product development part. So they have been introduced 31.12 in the earlier edition of Caesar 2, and that code has also been updated from 2019 edition to 2023 edition, both for the industrial piping and the pipeline systems. So industrial piping, we know those are the critical pipelines basically under 31.12, and the pipeline systems are also there, which are somewhat less critical compared to the industrial piping systems. So main changes are there in the industrial piping. So now IP refers to the 31.3 for the number of calculations has been updated. So there are significant calculation update we observed in the 31.12 for the hydrogen piping systems, and this mostly refers to the 31.3 piping code. So mostly for your displacement load calculation, for your sustained load calculation and piping support load calculation, this has been referred to the 31.3 piping code. So this we will see one by one. So in what we say industrial piping 6.1 clause, you can see that the analysis of the displacement load shall be in accordance with the ASME 31.3 para 319. Okay, so this has been updated. This has been clearly mentioned that the formula has been used from the 31.3. Similarly, for the IP 6.2 analysis for the sustained loads, that has also been referred to the 31.3 para 320. Okay, so this has also been there updated in the latest edition of Caesar 2. And the allowable displacement stress range SA, the computed displacement stress range SE, is a piping system shall not exceed the allowable displacement stress range SA. Calculation is accordance with the 31.3 para 302.3.5D. So again, this refers to the 31.3 piping code for the calculation of your allowable displacement stress range. Similarly, stress due to the sustained loads, okay, SL, okay, so this has also been updated into it, okay. So similarly, we can see the load, different types of loads such as pressure and weight. So this shall not exceed the product of SH multiplied by MF, where SH is the basic allowable stress and MF is shown in the mandatory appendix 9, okay, as per the table 9, 5B and 5C. So this has also been updated in the code as well as in Caesar 2. Now, for the what we say PL or the pipeline systems, there are no significant changes in the code and as well as in the Caesar 2. So, in the 31J is not mandatory basically for the PL calculation. So, as we know from 2022 edition, it has been mandatory to use the 31J for the SIF and flexibility calculation for our joints, for our bends. Okay, so this is not mandatory actually in pipeline system. So by default, it is by default how we do this what we say SIF calculation in the traditional way. It follows the same. But if you want to utilize the 31J, so you can select it from the derivative and what we say it will use the 31J for the pipeline systems as well. So this is up to us. We can change it from the configuration settings. Okay. Along with that, there is another change in the pipeline system, that is the stress range factor. So stress range factor now has been allowed up to 1.2 times. So it was there earlier in the what we say our industrial piping systems, but now this has also been updated in the what we say pipeline systems also. So now we can turn it on and off. So if you turn it off, okay, so it will be the range will be up to 1. Okay, and if you turn it on, the allowed maximum range will be 1.2 times of the stress range factor. Fine. Now coming to the changes in the piping adjacent code update. So adjacent code updates means we are saying it for the B31J, that is for the stress intensification factor calculation and the flexibility factor calculation and their determination for the metallic piping components. Okay, so this has been updated from 2017 edition to 2023 edition. Similarly, we have 31G, that is for the remaining strength of the corroded pipelines. So that has also been updated from 2017 edition to 2023 edition in the code as well as in the CZ2 latest edition. So in the 31J 2023 edition, so this has, first of all, this has been implemented in the version 15 of CZ2 software, and the calculation has been updated, and also a number of configuration variables which are there, which we will see in the next slide basically. So that has also been updated based on the changes in the 31J 2023 edition. And also we have a separate scratch pad that is also available, which we can use, that user interface we can use only for the SIF calculation. So that scratch pad interface has also been updated as there is changes in the 2023 edition of the P31J. So one by one, let us see what are the changes into it. So we have a new and modified configuration derivatives in the 31J 2023. So these directives are basically the use of smooth 90-degree bend correction, that is we can set it as true or default. Then we have the use sustained stress index correction, that is when our outer diameter by thickness is greater than 50. Okay, and our welding and contour T quality what we say variable, that is also we can change it. Okay, but the first point here you can see which is there, that is 31J SIF and flexibilities. This is we have three options here. One is by default, Then we have the set to 2017 edition. Then we can set it to 2023 edition. Now, what this is means, what is defined by the default, what we say, option. So default means as you select the piping code in Caesar 2, let's say if you select the piping code edition as 31.3 2022 edition, means you are using the older code in version 15. So in that case, if the set variables has been set to default, it will be using the 31J 2017 edition. Okay. If you use the latest edition of the code, that is 31.3 2024 edition, so that has been used, that will use the 2023 edition of the 31J. But if you set it force, let's say I want to use the 2023 edition for the SIF and flexibility calculation, then definitely I can set it to 2023. Even for the older edition of the 31.3 code, I can use the latest edition of 31J calculations. So that is a significant and good enhancement basically. So user has the choice now. Okay, so to which edition they can use it, either 2017 or 23 or default. Okay, default means it will take automatically based on the code release and update. Otherwise, we can set it forcefully and we can utilize the same. So this is what we say brief of it. So default as per the piping code, as I said, 31.3 2022 edition. So it will use the 31J 2017. Similarly, 31.3 2024 edition, if you select, it will go for 31J 2023 edition. Similarly, if you select the EN, European code 13480, so there will be no 31J requirement. So it will use the traditional and the what the code follows the SIF calculation, it will use the same. Now set 2017, definitely I'm forcefully setting the 31J and what we say to the 2017 edition. Similarly for 2023 edition, I'm forcefully setting the variable to the 2023 edition of the code to be used in the software. Now, what are the other things? Now, use smooth 90-degree bend correction. So, which is nothing but, let's say, in the larger diameter of the bends, we know that the pipe thickness is equal to our bend thickness. Okay. So, in that, okay, mostly we have a factor, okay, as per the 31J. So, when the bend angle is 90-degree and the thickness of the bend is equal to the thickness of the matting pipe, okay, then the flexibility factor in plane and out plane Ki and Ko may be found from the 1.3 divided by H and adjusted. This will be adjusted by the factor C from the figure 1.5 where applicable. Okay. So this is a value. Okay. So if we set it as a true, so it will use the factor 1.3 divided by H. Otherwise, if you set it as false, then it will go for the flexibility factor in plane as 1.65 divided by H and out plane is also 1.65 divided by H. Okay. So we can forcefully make it true for the smooth bends, 90-degree bends, and we can use the factor 1.3 divided by H in that. So it will not going to use the as per table 1.1-1. Okay. Now use sustained stress index correction when our outer diameter by thickness is greater than 50. So in that case, the sustained stress or moment factor should always be used with the section modulus, right, of the matching pipe, and that should not be less than 1. So when the DO on the outer diameter divided by thickness ratio for any component, if it is greater than 50, then the sustained stress or the moment factor should be divided by this factor 1.3 minus 0.006 D0, that is the outer diameter divided by the thickness. Okay. So this factor will be used to calculate the SIF. So if we make it as a true, okay, when my OD divided by T is greater than 50 for any of the component, the SIF value, the sustained stress and the moment factor will be divided by this factor mentioned in the code. Okay, so this is, you will find that in the general note D in the 31J 2023 edition. So this same has been what we say added in the latest edition of Caesar 2, that is Caesar 2 version 15. Okay. Then another significant enhancement is the welding and the control T quality. Okay, so we have three different options, that is the default, verified, and that is imperfect. Okay, so what are the things? So basically, if you what we say go through the table 1-1 note 6, when the sidewall thinning undulations and the creases, tool marks, and the boring discontinuities can reduce the fatigue life, we know. So sketch 2.1 as per the table 1-1 note 6, stress intensification factor are based on the component free of these defects. Okay, so when we are using the sketch 2.1, which means there is no such defects, okay, uh, in the piping system. And when we are using the sketch 2.3, the stress intensification factor may be used as a alternative thing. So when we use the sketch 2.1, the stress intensification factor are used in the below formula. So here we can see the A and B, these two guidelines are there as per the table 1-1 note 6. So it will be utilized in that. So that will be as per the default value. Okay. Then if it is under the verified, okay, if you select the verified option in that, so it will apply the note 6 and divided by SIF or flexibility factor by 1.26, okay, which has been defined in the code. And also, if you select the imperfect, then use the stress intensification factor from 31J as per the sketch 2.3. So sketch 2.3 stress intensification factors may be used as an alternative. Okay. So if I want to use the 2.3 sketch only for our fabricated unreinforced T, okay. So this type of connection, if we have, then we can use the imperfect option for the SIF calculation as per 31J. And it will follow the sketch 2.3. In that case, under the SIF settings, we have to select the imperfect option into it. Okay. So if we see somehow in the what we say software, if you go to the configuration editor, so this is the primary window of the CZ2, you know. So in that, in the home tab, we have the configuration editor, and in the configuration editor, if you go under the SIF and stress value, so these are the options there in uh, the to be used for the user. So use the smooth 90-degree bend correction. By default, it is true. If you want to change it, you can make it false. So ultimately, the factor will be divided by 1.6 divided by h. And if you use somewhere, if it is 90-degree bend is there for the smooth 90-degree bend where our matching pipe and the bend thickness is same, okay, then the factor will be 1.3 divided by h. Then the success stress index correction factor. Okay, so this has also been true and false. So when OD by T is greater than 50, as we have seen, okay, so it will be used those factors for that. Okay, so we can set it true and false. Okay. Similarly, for the welding and contour T quality factor, so by we have default option. If you want to go for the verified option, then it will be divided by 1.26. And if you go for the imperfect option, so definitely for the unreinforced fabricated T, those kind of connections, we can use the imperfect option. So this is up to us as per the user choice. So we can select in the configuration, we can save it, and then we can start our what we say model and analysis to calculate the proper SIF calculation as per 31J 2023 from the CZ2 settings. And this is the 31J SIF and flexibility. So by default, as I said, as per the code release, okay, and the 31J edition, so it will be used accordingly. But if you want to forcefully set the SIF to be used as per 2017 and 2023, so you can set these variables. Fine. Let us go back to the PPT. Now, we know that in 31J, we also have a scratch pad here. Okay, so just to calculate quickly the SIF values, okay, in that. And in the scratch pad also, these things has also been updated based on the changes in the code edition. So you can select the edition either 2017 or 2023 edition. Then the welding and contour T quality, we can set it default. We can go for the verified and the imperfect option. Similarly, for the sustain stress index correction, this option has been updated in the Scratchpad. So we can utilize that. Okay, so the scratchpad has also been updated based on the latest changes in the 31J edition. Okay. Now, what are the changes in the 31G 2023 edition? So, in 31G 2023 edition, which is implemented as an update to 31G 2012, which was earlier there in the Caesar 2. So, these updates has been what we say made to the calculation input user interface and also the output report. Okay. So we'll see one by one. So we can do the 31G calculation. So basically, if I show it to you, if you go to the Caesar 2 window in the primary window itself, okay, if you go to the uh, analysis options, so here you can see we have the 31G option. So if you open that open that option, so the dialog box will open. Okay, so we have to enter a file name and we have to save that file. Okay, let's say 31G calculation. Okay, so this is the scratchpad where it will open. Here you can select the edition, whether you want to go for 2012 or the latest edition. And we have to fill up these values. And there are some changes like the flow definition, S flow definition has been there. Okay. And also this flow length has been defined. Okay. Comparing to the pitting length. Okay. So all these things has been updated. So that also we will see one by one. Okay. Now, first thing is the code edition to be selected. As we have seen, we can select the 2012 or 2023 edition, and this S flow is a new field basically in the 2023 edition. It was not there earlier in 2012 edition. This has been updated in the latest code. So what is this now? SF, this value, if it is greater than the hoop stress value at the operating pressure definitely which we are working, then the flow is acceptable. Okay. And the SIG 31G definition of the S flow is based on the conditions of the temperature, your specific minimum yield strength, specific minimum tensile strength, and also the composition of the material. So this we can select from the S flow definition, which factor you want to use, or you can set some custom value also. That is also possible into it. So if you go here, so we can set the S-flow variable as the 1.1 multiplied by the specific minimum yield stress plus 10 KSI, that is 69 MPa. And this is the custom value. If you want to set the custom value, then you can set the custom value here as well. Fine. So this also we can say a major significant enhancement. Okay, so where we are doing the remaining strength of the what we say piping system. So this is a very useful option in Caesar 2, and in accordance to the new edition of the 31G release, this has been more productive, and those settings are also been updated in the Caesar 2 version 15. Okay. So these are basically when the S flow is a new field, as I said in 2023 edition, and which we can calculate for the failure stress at a new flow SF. Okay. And also these additional values that the ultimate tensile strength, the minimum tensile strength, the specified yield strength, and the minimum yield strength, those values also we need to provide in the additional field. There are also some changes like the design pressure is now the operating pressure. So definitely we'll be seeing in the operating pressure. So more conservative approach we are taking. We are not going beyond the operating pressure. Previously it was design pressure. Then the pits fields has been now labeled as floor depths. Okay, previously it was pits. Okay, but there was some what we say customer request we received. Okay, to change it to the floor depth, and that has well been accommodated in the software. And then the measurement uncertainty added. So we can something what we say give as 5 to 10% based on the things. Okay, so that has also been updated. So we can give some value for the measurement uncertainty. And this is the output report. So there are some major enhancements are also there. So in the report header, it will show you the edition. So in 2000, because previously it was only the 2012 edition was there, but now with the latest release, okay, it will show you the edition which you have used for the 31G calculation, and also it will show you the allowable value, okay, in the result table itself, okay. So this is in the operating pressure, and this is the hoop stress value in the operating pressure. And similarly, the safety margin included in the table. So safety margin, when if it is greater than one, so definitely it will not be safe for us. And the definition show immediately below. So failure stress, minimum acceptable operating hoop stress. Okay. So this has also been there. So definition means what we are using basically to calculate the safety margin. And the overall status, pass or failed, has also been printed. Like the overall status here, as some of the factor safety margins are greater than one, so it is showing as failed. So now it is our user responsibility to check and take the decision based on the 31G calculation, how we can proceed with the remaining strength, how what is there for the piping system, and how we want to proceed it. Okay. Now coming to the next part of the session, that is the building code updates. So the IBC, that is the International Building Code 2024 edition, that has been implemented in the software. So mostly IBC refers to the ASC, that is American Society of Civil Engineers 7, for the both wind and seismic load and calculations. And no such input fields are required actually for weather, wind, or seismic. So the interface is more or less same, because the inputs are same actually in that. And we can select it actually from the drop down, means which edition we want to use it, okay, for the same. And 2024, now you can select from the drop down if you are using the IBC code, okay. And it will show you in the what we say miscellaneous data in the report field also. It will show you the details, like in the CZ2 miscellaneous wind data, this IBC 2024 standard for the wind loading. So it clearly signifies that we are using the latest edition of the IBC code. Okay. Now coming to the seismic calculation also. So in the seismic calculation, it refers to, as I said, for both wind and seismic, it is referred to as C7. And in the static input, basically in the static seismic wizard, the SC 722 entry was changed to SC 722 IBC 2024, because both are same. The IBC is referring to the SC 27. So for in the seismic wizard itself, we can directly what we say select it, and this abbreviation has been changed to the as per the latest code changes. And in the dynamic input also, okay, where we can calculate the DLA for the spectrum generator in that. So that has also been the IBC 2024 for the dynamic analysis has also been updated in the latest edition of CZ2. So if you are using the dynamic analysis, and if you want to use the IBC code latest edition, so that is very much possible in the latest CZ2 version 15. Now, multi-piping code refactoring, this is another one of the major reformation we can say that that has been there in the CZ2, because earlier also from version 12 itself it was there. We can use the multiple code. We do not have to utilize the older edition of the software. But in the same what we say user interface itself, actually it was 31.3 2022 edition, 2020 edition. Okay, so there is a mess actually, because we found that it should be more systematic in that place. Okay, so that we can select the code, then after that we can select the edition. Okay, same like the wind and seismic code, how we select. Okay, so that has also been the refactory has been done. So the large job that was undertaken this release is refactoring of the piping input module to streamline the addition of the new piping code. So first of all, you need to select the code, then you can select the edition. Like we can go up to 2018 edition, 2020 edition, 2022, and the latest edition. Okay. So previously it was a single drop down where you have to just see and select the code. But now we don't have any confusion, we can select, and then we can select the year-wise addition for the same. Okay. So this also means that the piping code should be separated by the code or addition. So the list is now much easier to navigate, as I said. So there will not be any confusion in that. Okay. So we can very well utilize the changes, and we can refactoring those multi-piping codes into it. Okay. Another thing regarding the output, let me show it to you. So let me open a file here. Mm, Let me take this example. So this what we say enhancement, we do receive a lot of time that what we say to change this particular thing into the output report. Okay, so that has been well implemented, as you know that Hexagon is very much what we say open to the customer feedback. Okay, so this feedback we have used what we say we have received from the customer, and we pass it on to the Hexagon, and they have implemented or make the changes in the latest edition of Caesar 2. So let me show you how easy it is now. Now, if you what we say go for the start run and then batch run, okay, and go to the output report. So we know that we can add different types of reports into it, like so we add those report standards, okay, and then we finally what we say take the output out of it. Okay. Now, here you can see for the output, now we have three load cases here in the operating case. We have the sustain case and we have the expansion case here. Okay. Let us say now we want to add the input echo. Okay. And then for the operating and expansion cases, I want to check the resistance summary report, and I add it. Then for the expansion and sustain, I want to check the stress calculation here. Okay. And also for the operating and the expansion case, I want to check the uh, global element forces, and let me add it to the software also. Now in this, okay, if you select that, send it to the MS Word, okay, and uh, if I want to make some changes in my piping system, let's say now I want to send it to the MS Word, and I want to take the report, but before that I again want to go back to my model and I want to make some changes out of it. Okay, so what I will do, mostly I will go back to the input by clicking here or closing that particular window, and this will take you to the input window here. So in the input window here, you can see we have these things. Okay, we come back to the model. Okay, and let me make some changes. Let's say I don't want this support. Okay, or this support maybe I want to delete, and I want to make an additional node here. I want to break it to the midpoint. Okay, and in this particular field at the node number 28, let's say I want to make add a support, a plus y restraint here. Node number 28. Okay, so these are the changes, let's say if I want to make. Okay, then if I run the analysis in the older edition, what it will do, whatever the report edition or the report things I want to see or verify, okay, so that also once again we have to generate it. But now here you can see all this what we say report order and the sequence and whatever the report type we want, those are all saved in the output. So you don't have to navigate again what we say uh, or add these things into the report field. Okay, so this has well been added to it. Okay, and this will reduce our work. So definitely if some changes has to be done, you can go back to the things and you can modify those things, and the report sequence will not going to change, or you do not have to add the report sequence again. Similarly, if you do not want the user interaction, you can turn it off. So in the input echo, the dialog box, what it will appear to generate the report, it will not come. Then you can go for the finished report and generate the report at the output. So now report is in progress. It is generating the report in the Word format which we have selected. So we can also generate the report in the Excel as well as in the PDF format. Okay. So based on our choice, we can extract the report out of it. Now you can see, now it is generating the report out of it. This is the final report for me. So it is showing the 31.3 2024 edition, which we have used. So, and when this has been released, okay. And also, as I said that the refactoring has also been done. So report is ready for me. It is now very well, we can utilize this report. Now, if you go back to the software, it is now generating the global element forces. Okay, so the report has been done and sent it to the MS Word document. Now, if you go back to the input, as we are discussing that we have the refactory option, refactoring of the piping code option that has been implemented in the software. So this is the thing. So 31.3, if you select, now we have the code edition there. You can select the code edition as per your choice. Previously, it was there. This dialog box was not there in the version 14. Okay, this has been implemented in the latest version of CZ2. So previously, all this code edition, all this code with the edition, it will show you directly in the single interface itself. Okay. So with this, I want to end my session here. Okay. So if you have any question, you can ask me. So we'll be glad to assist you on that. And also, if you have any doubts or queries, or if you need the CZ2 version 15, okay, and you want to utilize the latest edition of the codes as we discussed in our session today, please do reach Image Graphics. So we'll be glad to assist you on that.
Gautam, we have few questions.
Yeah.
Yes, the first question is from Mr. Mirza Mansur Beg.
Hmm.
In 31.3, NM piping line FRP and HDLP are included or not?
No, that has not been implemented yet, but it is there under the scope of work. So it is already there in the ideas portal of Hexagon. So HDPE piping will be added in the, hopefully we can expect in the coming release.
And another question from him is B31J
Hmm.
gave any guidelines for NM piping again?
31J for?
NM
No,
piping.
no, no. It is only for the metallic piping system, sir. 31J is designed for the metallic piping systems.
Another question is from Mr. Anirban that how the new version is taking care of perspective design versus performance-based design of hydrogen pipeline as per B31.2.
Huh.
Well, 31.2.
31.12, yeah. So as per the 31.12, okay, so it is there because previously we do adhere some, what we say, we have some formula based on the industrial piping, okay. So mostly the pipeline systems, because we divide it into IP and PL. So PL will be the same, but the IP now refers to the, most of the calculation is refers to the 31.3. So it significantly improves the performance basically as per the ASME guidelines, okay. So definitely we can utilize the latest edition of the code to get the proper output compared to the older edition.
Another is someone is asking for the recorded video. I don't know whether we'll receive it or not. That we need to check.
Yeah.
Another question is, has the code case material properties added in the Scissor latest version?
Yes, the material properties, all the material properties which has been updated as per the latest edition of the code. So based on the section 2 part D, okay, it has well been implemented in the software. Yes.
Okay. Can we import Revit files to Caesar?
No, sir. Revit file cannot be what we say. We cannot import it into Caesar 2. One thing is, okay, definitely we need a piping software for the same, and we need the IFC file. That is the sorry the PCF file, the piping component file. So in Caesar 2, we can import the PCF file into it. Okay. So PCF file, if you open it in a notepad, you will see that the piping informations will be there, like what will be the line size, what will be the thickness of the piping, what is the material, what is the supports we are using. So those PCF file can be taken as an import input in Caesar 2, and then we can use the further what we say mapping options there in the system folder in Caesar to map the unit file, to map the SIFs, to map the support file, map the material file, and then we can take that file into Caesar 2. Okay, and we can very well perform the analysis in that. Yes, through PCF, it can be done. No other format.
Okay. Do we have added the reviewer in this latest version?
Reviewer has not been added in the latest edition. Yes, some glimpse of it is there. Okay, but definitely it will be there in the Caesar 2.15.1 as per the commitment from the Hexagon. So uh, I will show you one thing. So here is the new analysis reviewer is there under the report, but it will show you the details once you click on that. It is coming soon. So we can expect that in the Caesar 2 version 15.1, which will be upcoming. Yeah. Yeah, we also have an option now. If you go to the what we say utilities, so under the utilities, we have the option to change the model units. So from the model units, so as you can see, this is the model which you are using. You can browse and select your C2 file. Okay, and then you can select the unit file here. Okay, so now if you want to go for the metric file, you can select the MMFIL, or if you use any custom unit file also, that can also be selected, and then you can browse and select the location where do you want to save the final file. So from your unit file it can be changed to the desired unit file. That is possible. Then you can open the what we say latest C2 file for your reference.
Does the new version Caesar help in analysis of duct where the D by T ratio is more than 100?
No, when the D by T ratio is more, it's a good question. When the D by T ratio is more than 100, it will be a FEA calculation we need to perform. So Caesar 2 will not do the FEA calculation for us. Okay, so in that case, we need to use some FEA calculation tool. Okay, to when there is a very thin piping systems, when the diameter is very high and the thickness is very low and the ratio is more than 100. So we must have to go for, as per the code, the FEA calculation needs to be done.
How can we generate stress isometrics with support loads?
Yeah, stress isometry can be generated, okay, for what we say from if you go to the home tab and if you want to go for the generate stress isometrics, okay. So it will open the field for you, okay, and then you can what we say go for the edit stress annotations. Okay, here you can select from the input what are the things you want to incorporate. Let's say if you want to add the pressure here, okay, you want to add the temperature here. Okay, what are the items you want to have? Let's say I want to add the node numbers here, so I can select the first one, go shift and click on the last one. So it will select all the nodes for me. So similarly, what are the items you want basically? So that can like material name if you want to annotate. Okay. So those things, and from the output also, you can generate the output report. And what are the output you want? Let's say for the operating case, I want to take the restraint report out of it. And I can select all for all the restraints at the operating case, the items will be there. And similarly at the input, I want to select the restraints. Okay. So the type of restraint will also be displayed here. Okay. Then you can go for create isometric drawing. So with the combination of the input parameters and the output parameters, so it will be generated in the DWG format and as well as in the PDF format. Let me open the PDF file for you. So this is the complete stress isometric for your reference with the type of uh, uh, details, means the restraint what we have with the length of the lines, okay, with the diameter of the line and whatever the input parameters you want, as well as you will be getting the output field also here. So that is what we say very unique with CZ2. You will be getting the output report also along with your stress isometric. So you do not have to annotate those things manually. Thank you.
There is another question. Is there any software update on ASME flange leakage calculation module? As there are quite a few rated flange leakage test results showing failure even without any external loads.
Yeah, see, whenever we are doing the flange calculation, so basically flange calculation is based on we have the EN1591 has been added to the earlier edition of CZ2. Otherwise, we have the pressure equivalent method and NC3658.3 method that is available in CZ2. So in that, basically, what will happen at the particular temperature what we are working in that we have a rated pressure as per the flange ASME B 16.5 up to 24 inch, or if it is more than 24 inch, then we'll be using the 16.47. Now, in that, for a particular temperature, we have a rated pressure, right? So, what CZ2 will do mostly for the flange leakage calculation, it will be adding the internal pressure with your axial force and bending moment in that particular temperature. Then it will calculate the equivalent pressure for you. So, your internal pressure plus equivalent of your axial force and bending moment will be added to your internal pressure, then the total pressure should be less than the rated pressure. That is the form. Okay, so there is no factor of the external forces. So basically at that particular point where you want to perform the flange leakage calculation, CZ2 will calculate the axial force and bending moment, and it will give you the equivalent pressure which should be less than the rated pressure as per the 16.5 or 16.47. That is well there in CZ2. Yes.
Can we generate ISOs with trunnions from isogen? How to overcome ISOs with error?
In that case, mostly you can use the line numbering systems. Okay. With the help of the line numbering systems, can be what we say very well done. You can reach out to us. We can show you the procedure for the same.
And is there any update in the expression joint database?
Expansion join database, no, there is no such update as of now. Okay, so senior flexionist database, which is there earlier, which it is all what we say utilize into it. But definitely there are some ideas there. Okay, so which Hexagon is working on that. So maybe in the future release we can expect more such database, similar like our Hanger. We have lot of database there. So similarly for the expansion joint also we can expect those things.
Okay, so there is no other question. So, Kinshuk sir,
Okay.
so over to you. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Very lucid presentations by the panelist and the moderator. I hope that the participants are immensely benefited, uh, and it will be very much uh, significant and beneficial for their professional enhancement, professional career enhancement. So, sir, with this, we are concluding this webinar session. Looking forward for any that further version of this Caesar 2 or Caesar 3, and I am thankful to all the panelists of this session. I am thankful to we are thankful to the participants for their patient hearing. And one important announcement only that our e-certification is open till tomorrow midnight. Anybody who opt for e-certification may register in the e-certification link. With this, we conclude this webinar session. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thanks for your active participation, and do let us know, do reach Image Graphics if you are interested with the latest edition of Caesar 2 version 15. So we'll always be there to uh, assist you on that. Thank you. Thank you all.